here from Crystal Clear Aquatics. This is a bit of an unplanned video, so I'm in my civvy clothes at the moment. But I've had a call from one of my customers about a sick fish, so I wanted to come over and have a look and see what was going on. You'll recognise this pond, and a few of you have put in the comment section recently that you wanted to have some updates on this pond, so it's a good opportunity to come back and come and have a look. Here we have the owner of said pond, Mr. Daniel Hollett.
Good afternoon, Edward. How are you?
Let me give you a microphone.
Thank you very much.
There we go. Let's get the camera on the pond. So the pond is looking lovely. This is really towards the end of the pond season now. We're into September. All the pond plants are beginning to tire, and it won't be long before this lot gets cut back. But water clarity, fantastic. All your fish are looking good, with the exception of one. Where is he? Here he is. So what's been going on?
So basically just noticed over the last, I'd say 4 weeks, very lethargic, not eating as much. As you can see, sitting on the bottom of the pond, or just sort of stationary at the top of the pond. Upright, sort of no, sort of upside down or sideways or anything like that. But very, very out of character.
Is he feeding? I mean, he's looking very sorry for himself.
Relatively minimal feeding for him, to be honest, which is why we've obviously expressed a concern.
Now, I've seen this obviously in the last few months, and it's been a slow decline, and this is definitely the worst I've seen him. He's looking a lot worse for him than he was last time.
100%.
Yeah, and actually where previously I couldn't really see any physical signs on the body, I'm actually seeing now some ray scales on the flanks of the fish. Don't know if you can notice that, but just behind his front pectoral fins, yeah. And I can also see some reddening of some of the scales around the belly as well.
Yeah.
That wasn't very obvious before. Yeah, definitely a big decline in his health there. So we've already treated the pond a little while ago with something called Aquatics. That's a mouthful, isn't it? Aquatics, which is an antibacterial remedy. Often reddening of the scales, reddening of the fins, blood streaked fins, that can often be a sign of a bacterial infection. That's not had any impact at all. Daniel has also salted the pond. He's put in about 40 odd kilos.
Yeah, 36 kilos.
So it's a very weak dose. This is just really as a supportive measure. Adding salt into a pond in a freshwater system can be very useful to help prevent and act as a prophylactic to stop disease, and it improves their bodily functions physiologically, so it reduces stress. So it's a really good thing to do if you've got concerns about your fish. But none of this is making a difference, and he's a big fish, he's a nice fish, and we are concerned about him. Never mind the value of the fish, we just want to make sure that there's not anything else in here which is going to cause problems to other fish. So this is kind of beyond my skill set now, when we've contacted a local chap who specialises in skin scrapes of koi. We've got somebody coming over a bit later on today to net the fish out, to do a scrape and to analyse this microscopically to see if there are any other problems. What I'm thinking of next is potentially flukes in the pond. Flukes can cause problems, they can cause secondary infections. One of the effects or symptoms of flukes is lethargy, which this one is definitely exhibiting. And flukes can be seen microscopically. They're flatworms which are attached to the sides, to the scales of the fish and into the gills. So hopefully something like that will indicate whether we've got a problem with flukes, and then we can treat accordingly. So we've just had Graham from Maple Koi turn up to come and have a look at the fish, and he's just setting up some of his equipment now. So we're going to keep an eye and see what's happening. Now, am I right in saying, Graham, that the first thing we've got to do is try and catch the fish and get him into your bowl? Yes. Yeah, and a pond this size. And although he's sitting there looking pretty lethargic at the minute, as soon as you stick a net in, he's probably going to bolt. Dan's the only one with waders today.
Let me just I'll take that from you.
That was an excellent catch. Well done. I have to say, I'm surprised you managed that with one net.
How many gallons?
In terms of volume, about 12,000 gallons. Although generally when I'm treating, nice round number, I tend to treat it for 10 and be slightly cautious.
Yeah.
So as you say, those eyes are really protruding, aren't they? This is the first thing that was said here. Oh look, there's definite reddening now. So this is scraping a bit of the mucus layer.
Yeah, so just literally a little bit of mucus, and that could tell us an awful lot.
Yeah.
This is
A bit of reddening around the vent as well.
It could have a growth inside, because this area here is sort of swollen.
Yeah.
And
Now that swelling there, which we noticed today for the first time, that's quite a new thing, isn't it?
what I do is have a look in his, because it looks semi-dropsy, but when they get a problem, some gills can you see inside the gills?
A bit cloudy.
They're cloudy, they should be really red.
Bright red, yeah.
Bright red. See, when a fish gets sick, it's like anything, parasites will take over. It's not as if the fish is sick from the parasites.
No, but it's weakened.
It's weakened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is what you've got to be careful of, isn't it? Is whether it's primary or secondary infections.
Yeah.
So this is a bit of mucus on the slide there.
The mucus is on the slide.
And that's going to get covered
what
over.
you do is you cover it over, and then you just slowly but surely squeeze it and have enough water so that the water sort of doesn't penetrate on the parasites.
Now, is it just parasites that you're looking for with a skin scrape, or is it going to show other things? It's just parasitical?
Yeah. No, there's no bacteria.
No, and viruses are too small to be detected, aren't they, by this sort of thing?
Yeah.
Just wandering into the kitchens of the hotel here, so we're near a socket. What's the measurements of that, Dan, whilst he's out?
I would say probably...
Got to see a bit of glass. It's a very...
So just under 60, about 56 centimetres.
Yeah.
So the skin scrape didn't unearth a huge amount, but we did discover a couple of signs of costia, a little single-celled protozoa, which is a parasite, and that's going to cause problems on the fish. So whilst he's out and in the tub, he's going to have a little bath of some, was it some potassium permanganate you mentioned?
Yeah, potassium.
This is the purple powder, purple liquid.
It's always the pretty ones and the big ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a lovely colour, lovely Showa. Yeah, he's waking up now because we've changed the water.
So this is the potassium, wonderful colour.
Give him a strong. You won't like that.
So he's had a little soak for 10 minutes in the bath.
He won't swim erratically for quite a while. he might come up and gulp, you know, like they do.
Yeah.
So he will act erratically, but I think if we did nothing, it'll get worse. But
Yeah.
he might respond to this in the other way and go, oh, that's done me in.
Yeah. Oh, sometimes it can be kill or cure. We have to be realistic about these things.
Well,
it's got a good shape to it. It's a shame.
yeah.
I hope it does bounce back.
It might.
So this lovely Showa has been returned to the pond. He's not showing any signs of particular signs of stress from having been taken out and dipped. And if he manages to hang on, it's going to be worthwhile hooking him out probably on a few occasions and giving him a bath rather than treating the whole pond, which is an issue when you've got a very large volume of water like this. So this is on YouTube actually, the construction of this pond, but the two of us by hand, everything by hand, wasn't it? You know, it was well, for all the paving and bits around the edge as well, nearly 3 months.
Yeah.
Labour of love.
Well, it can go, don't think you want it on the lawn.
Dan's skimmer could do with a clean.
Yeah.
Your skimmer could do with a clean, Dan. I'll leave him chatting and have a look at the gardens whilst I'm here. Dan's been busy at work sorting out his borders around here. Looking very nice. Yeah, so your plants are looking good, aren't they?
Very nice.
And you've done a nice job here with edging the lawn.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your feedback on my curve.
Some more lighting. I think everything that you've planted has survived.
Yeah. Apart from some Pittosporum and Hebe, which we lost in that really bad frost.
And your Fatsia, which was one of my favourites that you added, is looking very healthy. I love that plant. No, honestly, you've done a lot of work yourself in the garden, and it really looks great. It's a lovely feature.
Thanks, mate.
So the general consensus for this one is that he's probably just a sick individual. When a fish is poorly like this and his immune system is weakened, he's going to become more susceptible to lots of problems. So things like the Costia and other little parasites find it much, much easier to become a problem on a host with a weakened immune system. So then it becomes an issue as to whether you're treating primary or secondary infections. But having seen that he has got a couple of signs of parasites on, doing the bath has been worthwhile. I think we're going to have to keep an eye on this fish. The pond, as I say, has been treated with a low level of salt, which physiologically is going to improve all of the fish, and it's going to really boost the immune system and just provide much better, healthier conditions for the fish to recover in, which is all we can ask for. When you're treating fish, it really comes down to water chemistry and water quality in the pond. And thankfully, that's not something that we suffer with in this pond. It's always been very healthy. So time will tell if he's going to improve. Right, so that's the end of that. Graham, thank you very much. That was very interesting.
Yeah.
And for anybody in the south and kind of southeast, if you're interested in having a scrape, then Graham from Maple Coy is your man. Graham, thank you very much. Cheers for that. Thank you. Dan, pleasure, mate.
Pleasure.
Thank you. Right, well, that's it for now. As always, it was a pleasure to come back and come and see Dan, but to come and have a look at the pond. A couple of years in now, and it's really starting to establish, and the plants have really started to take off now and develop, which is nice. Lilies haven't done so well this year, but I think that's been a lot of that down to the weather. Quite a few ponds I've worked on, the lilies haven't haven't flourished. So it'll be interesting to see next year how things progress. But thank you very much for watching. I'm Ed from Crystal Clear Aquatics, and I'll see you in the next pond.